Hey everyone, we're back, and today we've got something interesting to discuss. It's kind of about real estate. It's kind of not. So bear with me. But it's got big impacts into everything we do. Okay. I was looking at my investment portfolio last week, end of last week, because of the run up in gold and silver prices. I was interested in investing more. And anyone that's read this, other posts of this blog or for Anchor for Life members, you know that Tom and I both. And I think I shared my specific numbers that I had invested in gold, silver, and oil at the beginning of this year because I felt it was a good play for the long term, the relative long term. It wasn't a 6-month investment; it was a little bit of a longer term thing. So I was looking at my investment portfolio. We're going to use green for money. I was looking at my investment portfolio, and the run up of gold and silver prices made me feel pretty good last week. I'm like, prices on their way up. Silver I bought at $13, trading about $17. Looking good, right? Gold, I think it was about $900. It was whenever it closed at $1045 or something over $1,000. The numbers are looking good. They're looking more attractive to me, right? So I just see people walking by here. We've got action in the office. Like my eyes get distracted. Okay, but here's what I realized last week. A big thing. Inflation is taking hold. Not generally just inflation, but it's going to relate back to inflation because we're talking about the value of the US dollar today. Okay, big topic. All over the news. Value of the US dollar. So let's do US. We'll do dollars. Plural. Look at that. And you have to bear with me with my my whiteboard skills. My whiteboard skills aren't professional, okay? But bear with me, because I got a big point. Okay, the green for money is gone for now. Let's try blue. We'll see if it's a little bit darker. A little bit better. Okay, so here's what's happening. Here's the big news that I realized with my gold investment. The gold that I bought, the value was somewhere around $900, okay? Now gold has gone up to roughly around $1,050. It's fluctuating. It'll go back down, up, all over the place, right? So, I think that I've made a decent percentage of my investment over the last 6 months because it looks good. Because 10% return would be $990. We're looking at extra $60. We're looking at 16% return. Off the top of my head, I could be mistaken. Post a comment and correct me. It'd be awesome. I'd appreciate it. Okay, but here's the other thing. Let's go back. Let's use a different color. Let's go back to what I purchased my investment in. Okay, we'll do red for warning signs. I had to purchase my gold in US dollars. So what I did was I took my Canadian dollars, okay, Canadian dollars, and I changed them into US dollars, which went into my gold investment. Okay? So Canadian to US dollars to gold. And the reason why I had to change them to US dollars is because the US dollar is global currency, right? Gold and most of our commodities that we use in the world are priced in US dollars. Gold, oil specifically are the two major players that everyone's always talking about. But we have cotton, we have wheat, we have copper, we have lumber, all sorts of things. Very, very often, more often than not, it's priced in US dollars. There's some things changing around the world. Different people are looking at doing different things, but that's the big thing to keep in mind. Okay, so we have this stuff. Now, how does this relate back to my investments? Here's how it does. What happened is this $900 went to $1,050. Great, jackpot. But I bought the investment in US dollars. So the US dollar compared to the Canadian dollar, what's it done? Down like that, right? This is US dollar, US value, let's say there, it's dropped. So the value has gone down, okay? I don't know how much room I have here, so let's delete all this. Delete. I'm in my computer terms, even though I'm on the whiteboard. Okay, so here's what happened. My gold, right? The gold went up, the value of the gold. But the value of the US dollar went down. Okay? And remember, I bought in US dollars, even though we're in Canada. So if I want to cash out, I want my Canadian dollars back, because my Canadian dollars are what I can use here to invest in other things. If I want to buy a piece of real estate, I'm going to use Canadian dollars to buy that. If I have US, I convert back to Canadian. So if the US dollar has dropped in value, if gold has gone up, right? Let's say gold has gone up 15%. but the US dollar has dropped in value 20%, what happens? I'm down, right? I'm negative 5% here. So this gold investment that looks so great, it's not as good anymore because I had to change my dollars and invest in US dollars with this investment, right? So I invest in the GLD mutual fund. It's an index fund that monitors the price of gold. There's some other ways to invest in gold. I invest in some other ways as well, but this specific example I'm talking about is this mutual fund. And even the price of some physical metals, if you're actually investing in gold coins, this can impact you too. Because if you go to a coin dealer, they price it out in US dollars. So now you have this great investment that's doing well, but because you invest in a currency that's going downhill, right, you're not doing as good. So if you can keep your money and invest it in areas where the currency will benefit you as well, that's what you want to do. So, real estate's one example. If we're investing in Canadian real estate, well, I'm happy about that because if I invest in a piece of U.S. property that's worth $100,000 U.S., I'm using U.S. money to buy it, and even if that property goes to $110,000 U.S., but the value of that dollar starts dropping, when I convert it back to Canadian dollars, I can end up on the wrong side of the coin. Okay, so it's something you have to take into account. You've got to monitor all these things when you're investing. I know it sounds crazy and there's too many moving parts, but it's not a scary thing. It's just something to keep in mind. And am I worried about gold investment? No, I'm not worried about the gold investment because I do think the U.S. dollar has a bit to go still to drop, right? But I also think gold has a bit to go up as well. Same with silver. So I'm holding on to that investment because I think long term, right? As an investor, typically you want to think long term. The benefits usually outweigh the downfalls. So I look at my long term play that my gold investment will go up higher than the dropping in the US dollar. So there's all this hype right now about gold and commodity prices, but one thing we have to keep in mind is the reason that some of these prices are going up is because the value of that dollar is going down. Okay? And this gets into the whole inflation topic and all sorts of crazy stuff. And we'll probably come back and touch on that. If you have any questions, comments, I'd love to hear them. This is such a hot topic right now. Commodities, real estate, US dollar, world currencies, what's going on? Let us know what you think. Post a comment and we'll take it from there. It's going to be a fun ride over the next little while. All right? We'll talk to you soon. Your life, your terms.